right, one thing I wanted to talk about was the idea of beliefs. I think beliefs are an interesting topic because everyone has some form of beliefs. Some people have very similar beliefs to you, and some people have very different beliefs from you. And it seems to also be interesting how you could have the same beliefs as someone from the other side of the world, maybe from a different even religion as you or something, but have some very similar core beliefs. Or you could have someone that lives in the same house as you, a sibling, that had the same parents, went to the same school, maybe even had the same friends, and you could have very different beliefs from them. And beliefs, I think, are interesting because they're shaped from so many different things. You know, it's not just what you learn or what you've been told, but things that you experience. You know, your own psychology, like things that have to do with your own confidence and self-image. And over time, these beliefs shift. You know, as you learn something new, you might have a different belief. And these beliefs also affect your perception and how you interact with the world. So as a result, your reality. And what I think is also very fascinating is I've heard this idea that if you had the exact same existence as someone else, so you had the same life, same parents, same friends, you had the same beliefs. So you had the same, confidence or lack thereof, the same body issues because you had the same body, you felt the same things, same pain, the same struggles. You would actually probably do the same things that they do or have done. So someone that you see on TV maybe that did something really terrible, it's easy to judge them and like, oh, they're such terrible people. But it's interesting to have some empathy that if you were that person and if you had the exact same experience of life as them, as a result would have the same beliefs and would even then as a result make the same choices, you'd probably do the same thing as what they did. And that can be scary and also confronting the fact that we're all capable of the things that we see people do that are horrible. But the awesome thing is that we're also capable of doing all of the things that people do that are amazing. So it's kind of like a flipped coin, like the duality of things. You can't have one side without the other. And so it's just a fun little thing to think about. What I think is interesting though is just the idea of challenging your perspectives and your beliefs. Like, why do you believe in something? A simple thing that I think is interesting is just the idea of electricity. If you're watching this YouTube video right now, you are using electricity, whether it be from a battery, like in a cell phone or something, or because it's plugged into a wall, your computer or something. And we've all seen the effects of electricity. We see the results of electricity. But very few people, if any, have actually seen electricity. You might be able to feel like, you get like a little electric shock when you rub your feet on carpet and touch a doorknob or something. You feel the electricity. You might see that like spark of light. But when you actually learn about electricity, that it's the flow of electrons and stuff, have you actually seen an electron? I've never seen one. And then even if I'm using this like special microscope or something, special device that allows you to see the electrons, I'm trusting that this device actually shows me these electrons, because you really don't know, other than if maybe you build that machine yourself or something. You're trusting things to a certain degree. And I think it's fascinating because I think that everyone can agree that electricity exists and that it does really cool things, and that when you see the results of electricity, you can come to the conclusion that it's the flow of electrons and stuff. But when you really think about it, you've never seen it. And so how many other things in your life do you believe that you've never seen? And then so does that mean you have to see something to believe it? Or do you have to feel it? Or does it have to be proven? Because even things that are proven are often disproved later. So almost all of modern science has disproved things that was modern science back in the day. Like hundreds of years ago, the Earth was, believed, and also it was fact that it was flat. And then that belief was shifted into, well, it's actually round because, you can see that if you keep going around, you eventually come back to the same place. Or when you get a spaceship and you go into space and you can actually see it. Some people might be like, well, I've never been to space, so I've never seen it. So how do I know that those videos I see on TV are even true? It's interesting because you don't. It's all about trust. And what do you trust? So where do you get your information from? And that all shapes your beliefs. You know, even like the idea of like the Earth used to be the center of the universe, where all like the planets and stars revolved around the Earth, and then that was disproved, and the new belief became that, you know, the sun was the center of our solar system, and that planets all revolve around that. You know, the moon happens to revolve around the Earth, and all, you know, in our solar system, you know, it was moving around our galaxy and all this kind of amazing things. So, but again, these are all beliefs, because when you think about it, I believe it, but really I don't even know how it even all happened. Like, that's where it's fascinating, because I'm just trusting what other people have told me, or what scientists have supposedly proven. So when someone's challenging your beliefs, I think it's interesting just to realize that a lot of stuff we're taking people's word on, whether it be a scientist, a politician, you know, a spiritual leader, whomever. And I think that we are all making choices to believe what we believe. And if we can realize that in itself, then perhaps we can be more open to realizing how other people can think in a different way. And hopefully we can have empathy for one another, and come to a place of hopefully understanding that even if we have a different belief from someone, it's possible to coexist. It's still possible to even, you know, create things together, because sometimes you actually need a slightly different belief to be able to see things from a different perspective and come up with a different idea, which could be the solution to a different problem. So, just some things to think about, and we'll see how it all goes.